We have spent the last couple of weeks really trying to get settled in to our new home. And I have learned that I have to be very patient with this project. We moved in to a very bare-boned home without doors, without trim, obviously no curtains. We only had one bathroom finished when we first moved in, and we don't have our garage done yet. And so all of the tools and things that my husband is using to work on these projects are in our basement. So they're coming up and down the stairs a lot. So there's lots of dust. And even though all of it isn't, completely ideal, living at our farm and having more outside space makes it all totally worth it every day. I can't believe that we're actually living here. This has been a long time coming in our plans, and I'm going to be doing a video really soon about that and kind of explain how this all came about and some of our building experience with you, a little bit about how we stayed in budget for our build, and just all of those types of things. But we've been here for a couple of weeks, and I am trying to get back into a more normal routine. If you've ever moved before, you know that things can be very hectic leading up to the move, and then during the move, and right after. And so this week I am spending a little time in my kitchen doing some of the things that I always love to do, and that is baking bread, fermenting some cabbage to make some sauerkraut, and just try to get back into our normal routine.
Chicken scraps. A bunch of that table and that table. Yes. You already have a bunch of kids?
My family loves sauerkraut. My kids have always loved homemade sauerkraut. If I ever am lazy and don't make it for a little while, they'll ask, where's the sauerkraut? Because they like it with every single meal. And if I ever buy any from the store, none of them like it. They like the homemade kind, and it's so simple to make. If you're ever looking for like one of the first things to incorporate of a healthy, high probiotic food into your diet, do sauerkraut, because it's so simple. It's literally just chopping up some cabbage. You can use a food processor. My family likes it best when I do it by hand because they like the bigger pieces of cabbage, so it's a little more crunchy. And then you just massage some salt into the cabbage to make a brine, stuff it in a jar, and then you leave it out on your counter for however long. I mean, it can be anywhere from like 2 weeks up to like a month or even longer, depending on how sour you like your sauerkraut. So I have a recipe for this on my blog, and I think even on the YouTube channel I have a tutorial. Very old, but something that I did a long time ago. So if you are wanting that recipe, I can link it for you guys down below. I'm excited to introduce today's video sponsor, Nourish. Nourish is the easiest way to find and to speak to a registered dietitian and have it covered by insurance. All the visits are conveniently done over Zoom, so you can do this anytime in any place, which is super nice because you don't have to leave the comfort of your own home. Nourish accepts hundreds of insurance plans in all 50 states, and 94% of Nourish patients pay $0 out of pocket, and signing up takes just 5 minutes on their website via your phone or your laptop. Nourish dietitians can help you to learn sustainable, lifelong skills, not quick fixes. no crazy fad diets or restrictions. I recently had my nurse visit and we talked all about gut health, which is something that I am very interested in. I can always learn more, and it's so nice to actually sit down and be able to tell someone your concerns and they listen, and then they give you actual real advice and things that you can do rather than just writing up some type of like prescription or something. So I really learned a lot from my visit. She was very knowledgeable and she knew so much more than what I'm used to whenever I've met with other doctors like in the past. And that's really comforting whenever you know that you can find someone that you trust, and it's just so easy and affordable. So this can be for anybody. If you are interested in trying out Nourish, you can use my link down in my description box below. Thank you again to Nourish for sponsoring today's video. We are going over to one of my sister's house tonight for dinner, and so I am making an appetizer to bring, and I'm doing a buffalo chicken dip. This is a favorite around here. Very easy to make and definitely a crowd pleaser. So I'm going to start off by getting some chicken in the oven, then I'm going to bake up, and then I'll later shred, and then I'm going to make some homemade ranch to mix in with this. It's just cream cheese, ranch, a bunch of shredded cheese, the chicken, and some spices. Everyone has been adjusting really well to the move with lots of kids and toddlers. I wasn't so sure like how everyone would transition into like sleeping in a new place, especially with no interior doors. Currently we are all on the same level and pretty close together as far as sleeping goes, and so I wasn't sure how nap times would work with kids, you know, in rooms without doors, but they all adjust so well and so quick. It was just a couple of days and everyone was right back on their normal schedule, which I'm very thankful for. Slowly yet surely, my husband is working on getting all of those projects done, and here in a little bit I'm going to give you guys an update and kind of show you some of the things that we have been working on here in the last couple of weeks.
Touch it in my hand. Oh yeah, I know what you're making. This has to go in the basket now. I always have to tell you
I'm saving back a little bit of this ranch and adding in some hot sauce to make a sauce to put on top of some Brussels sprouts that I have roasting in the oven. I did not get a final clip of this. I totally forgot, but that is what I'm making here in this little bowl. I'm gonna spend this afternoon doing a little bit of cleaning. These doors, as much as I love them, well, one, I don't absolutely love the stain. It's growing on me. We kind of messed up staining these doors. I think we can fix them. They're not sealed yet. If you guys have any pointers on fixing stained doors that you don't love, they came out way redder than I expected, let me know, because it's been a little bit of an issue. I wish that they were more of a brown color. They were supposed to match my floor. They were the exact same stain as my floor. And I know the floors are oak and these are mahogany. And so I realized that different woods get stained, like the color shows up differently. But I did read that you can add like a different color stain to it after sanding it down before sealing them, and that it can kind of like lighten the color or change the color. So we might try to do that, but the color is growing on me. When I very first saw it, I about cried. Like they were like, oh my gosh, what happened to my doors? But I do think that the more I look at them, they're getting better. But anyway, besides that point, whenever we got them, there were like stickers on every single window, multiple stickers. And we actually had these up since summer, and I think it made it worse, like sitting through heat and then cold. But the stickers have been like an absolute nightmare to get off. I've used everything I could think of. I used lemon oil. I tried like even the Goo Gone stuff. I tried everything. My husband ended up using a razor blade to scratch them off, and then I'm using like heavy duty actual window cleaner, not anything homemade, to clean these doors off. So I'm going around trying to get all the stickers off the doors. And then another really hard part about moving to a new build is that there is no grass. And so we have dirt everywhere. And so it's a constant job trying to clean up the porches and just keep dirt off the porches to hopefully keep it out of the house. So I'm spending a little time today doing that because it is so nice outside. So I'm constantly sweeping the porches and vacuuming all the floors inside. I can't wait until we have an actual yard.
Mama. Yeah. I do that right now.
Okay, yeah. Watch out. Ooh, look at that yummy bread.
Okay.
Ooh. Mommy will close it. You can turn the light off. Bringing in the wood stove was quite the job. That thing weighed 500 pounds, so it took a lot of maneuvering and help from the boys to get that into the hearth pad. All right, so it's been 2 weeks since we've been in our new home, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of share with you guys a few of our visions of what we're going to be doing and also the things that we've already been doing. So the big goal was to just get here because my husband is doing all of the finishing work in our home, including like all the trim and all the interior doors and finishing up bathrooms, installing our wood stove. There's a few different like light fixtures that didn't get ordered in time, so he has to put those in. Just lots of things, lots of cosmetic things. So like my kitchen is fully working, but I have really big plans, which I'm planning on, or he's planning on starting in the next week or two. And so soon I'll have like a kitchen reveal to show you. We're doing lots of beadboard and some open shelving. My range hood cover will have to be finished. We're kind of like putting some framing around the refrigerator with cabinets above it to make it look more like a built-in unit. And so all of that will be coming, like I said, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I'll be able to share that with you guys. But this week, some of the big priorities, what we had said when we moved in, we were gonna move in once we had one bathroom, a full working kitchen, and a laundry room. So I had all that, I knew it'd be okay to move in, but one bathroom with 9 people isn't super convenient, especially because the one bathroom we have is upstairs, so we have nothing on the main level. So he is currently working on the bathrooms this week. He tiled the floors, he is tiling the showers, and then we'll be able to get our plumber back to get the next 2 bathrooms in working order. So one here on the main level and then one upstairs in our bedroom. The other huge thing that he did this week that we were really excited to get done was getting the wood stove in. It is winter and we knew that we would want to be able to heat our home with wood. So he worked on the hearth pad, which we decided to use black slate and lay it in a herringbone pattern. There still needs to be trim put around it, but the hearth pad is done. The stove was brought in and it is all hooked up here on the inside. We're waiting on a cap that has to be made to go on the outside, like in the chimney, like on top of the house, in order to light it. But hopefully it'll be soon. Thankfully, we are having like really warm weather right now, which is a little bit unusual for this time of year, but next week I already see the temperatures are dropping back down to the normal cold winter temperatures. So we are hoping that that's done in time so we can light our stove for the first time. Now in our living room, I have lots of plans in there as well, and obviously adding like trims and curtains and like all the things to get that room more complete. Another really big thing that's exciting is that our interior doors and trim are actually getting delivered today, this afternoon, in a couple of hours, and he is going to start installing those just kind of like one room at a time. It's been a little bit difficult because there hasn't been any interior doors on the home yet, and so with a toddler it's hard to contain him, and so I'm really excited to be able to actually like close some doors and keep the baby out of like literally everything. Also with sleeping and nap times and things, it's a little bit difficult because we're all upstairs right now. Eventually we have plans of finishing off our basement, but for now we're all upstairs, and so with no doors, if the baby wakes up overnight, I've just been like pulling him in bed with me so he doesn't cry and wake anybody else up, which would normally be fine. He sleeps fine with me, but we are getting super close to welcoming the next baby, and so I don't really want to train him to be coming back into our bed. But we're gonna kind of do trim room from room. So when we get into the kitchen, we'll start trimming out the windows. Here we have 2 big windows in the kitchen, and doing trim in here. And then when we move on to like, you know, just whatever room we're working in, we'll kind of trim as we go. So I'm excited to take you guys along and show you all of the updates. There's gonna be lots of updates, but in with all of that, I'm also gonna be showing just normal life of cooking and cleaning and just kind of getting this home set up for our family, and you know, some farm life. It's really fun that we have more ground now that we are able to spread out. The kids can go outside and really enjoy living here on the farm. But the house will be a bit of a construction zone for a while. You hear Brenda, my husband's in here tiling. It's just, there's lots of tools and things like the outside area. There's lots of messes, but it's things that we really can't put away because it's all being used. And then once we're done inside, we're gonna be working on a big detached like garage over here behind me, right outside the house. So there's gonna be so many fun things coming. And as I tell my husband every day, this house just every day gets a little bit more cozy and a little bit more comfortable as we finish each and every project. So thank you so much for following along and joining in on this journey of us turning this house into our forever home.